皆さんこんにちは。Hello Ali. Привет всем. Hello everybody. It's me Sayaka and welcome back to my channel. So after I uploaded my recent Q&A video, I was surprised to see that people were interested rather in my language skills. And so today in this video, I thought it would be a fun idea to speak in 4 different languages. And also towards the end, I'll be sharing some tips that help me learn these languages. Let's go! So to briefly explain, I speak English, Japanese, Russian, and German at the moment. And the reason why I got to learn these languages is through my job as a professional ballet dancer, as some of you might know. So I've lived in many different countries from the age of 13 to 21. I lived in 8 different countries. And then I traveled to more than 30 countries. So here are the 4 languages that I speak. Let's go with Japanese first. はい、改めてこんにちは。私は日本生まれで13歳まで、日本で育ったんですけども、もともとインターだったんで、実家で喋る以外あんまり日本語を話す機会がなかったんですね。なんで日本人ですけども英語の方が得意です。漢検とか受けましたけどね。あとなんか思うのがやっぱり日本語ってすごい敬語を使うタイミングとか微妙じゃないですか。だからついつい失礼がないように丁寧に喋りすぎちゃう傾向があるらしくって、なんかよく言われるのがなんかさやかの日本語って硬くて全然面白くないよねって言われるんですよね。まあでもそんな感じで、日本語も一応喋ります。Привет всем, меня зовут Sayaka. Я учила по-русски, когда я была в Канаде. Я была 13 лет, и там была русская балетная школа. И вот я учила по-русски. А потом я жила и работала в России, в Армении и в Казахстане. Поэтому мне нужно говорить по-русски, потому что никто не говорил по-английски. Что еще? Я уже по-русски давно не говорила, поэтому я уже немножко забыла. И, конечно, мои по-русски не так хорошо, не так отлично, но я думаю, это достаточно для сейчас. Вот, все, ладно. Also hallo, mein Name ist Sayaka und ich spreche Deutsch seit ungefähr 2 Jahren, seit der Pandemie. Ja, also ich hatte ein bisschen Zeit, endlich Deutsch zu lernen. Ehrlich gesagt, am Anfang war es nicht so einfach. Also ich hatte sehr viel Angst, Deutsch zu sprechen. Und für mich war es besonders schwierig, denn ich habe in der Schule Niederländisch gelernt, als ich in Belgien war. Und die Sprachen sind so ähnlich, dass ich total verwirrt war. Ich glaube, die deutsche Grammatik ist auch sehr schwierig, aber ich glaube, dass das Wichtigste ist, dass die Leute mir irgendwie verstehen können. Ich habe gerade das C1-Niveau endlich erreicht nach 2 Jahren und ja, hoffentlich kann ich mein Deutsch verbessern. Of course, now we finally have English. So English is actually my mother tongue, so it's the easiest for me. And I would even say that the default of my brain is English. This is the language that I feel most comfortable communicating and expressing myself. There are some times that I feel better expressing myself in Japanese, especially when it comes to emotions, but usually it's like English. So these are the 4 languages that I speak. If you are a native speaker of any of these languages, you can rate how well I've done. And I usually speak almost all 4 languages every day. Not every day, but almost every day at work here in Germany, because there are Japanese colleagues, Russian colleagues, and German colleagues. And of course, English is the common language. Here are some tips that help me learn languages quicker. First of all, it was helpful for me to immerse myself as much as possible in these languages. So usually at the beginning of a language learning process, I would expose myself as much as possible to the new language. So for example, with German, I kept the German radio on almost like all the time I was awake every day. And I also tried to watch only German TV as much as possible for a couple of months. So that helped me absorb the language almost like a sponge. Another tip is to not translate word for word. So for me, every time I try to learn a new language, I pretend like I'm a newborn, absorbing information instead of translating what I already know. Because then later on, I'll have the foundation to actually think in that language, which actually helps to sound more like a native speaker in that language. And finally, it really helps to learn languages almost like music. So I would try to listen to how locals would speak and imitate the tune of how they're speaking. Actually, I wasn't aware that I was doing this until my German teacher pointed that out, that I learn languages like ballet through rhythm and music. And I was like, oh my god, that's true. If you teach a foreign language to kids, for example, like oftentimes they won't pick up the grammar or the perfect pronunciation, but they will mimic the intonation of the person speaking, right? And I remember I used to do that a lot in Russian. There was this poem in Russian I learned when I was 13, and it went something like this. Уронили мишку лапу, оторвали мишке лапу, все равно я его не брошу, потому что он хороший. Like, did you notice how the tone went up and down? It's actually a really cute poem. But like, our bodies understand rhythm really well. We've been exposed to music almost since the beginning of humanity, right? And so learning languages like music really actually does help. So, or so, as the Germans would say, these are some of the tips that help me learn new languages. In my case, learning languages was absolutely critical for my safety because I was like traveling alone and it was almost like a survival mechanism. I think that even if you don't travel as much, there are still so many beautiful advantages of speaking many languages because it introduces you to a new way of thinking. You can enjoy the richness of different cultures really and history. And it also helps you to find the right words to express yourself, which is really important to understand yourself. So that's it for today. 今日はここまでにします. I hope you enjoyed my video. Спасибо за просмотр. And bis zum nächsten Mal. Пока-пока. Bye!